Stand by.
In today's Final Touch, we have a tree house that will leave you in awe.
Horace Burgess says God inspired him to build this 10,000 square foot timber treasure in Tennessee. The massive 10-story tall masterpiece has roughly 80 rooms built almost entirely out of recycled materials. The superstructure, known as the Minister's Treehouse, is supported by an 85-foot oak tree and 6 other load-bearing trees. Pretty amazing. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. News 3 at 5 starts right now.
And right now at 5, the former UW student who admitted to sexually assaulting multiple women will spend time in prison. We'll have emotional testimony from the courtroom.
Plus, a warning from officials tonight after multiple deaths were reported from people smoking synthetic marijuana.
And parents looking to run for office will now be able to use campaign donations to pay for child care.
This is News 3 at 5.
A former UW-Madison student who sexually assaulted multiple other students will spend 3 years in prison.
The judge made his decision after hearing from victims and a psychologist on the disorders that Cook is believed to have made. And Amanda Quintana was in the courtroom today. She joins us now here with more on today's decision. Amanda.
Yes, well, Judge Stephen Elke said the most important thing today was to make sure the victims' voices were heard. He knew some would be disappointed by this sentence he handed out today, but he wanted them to know that he listened to each of their stories carefully.
I'm sorry. I was wrong. You told the truth and everyone should believe you. This is my fault.
22-year-old Alec Cook apologized to his victims and their families before being ordered to spend 3 years in prison. With 11 fellow UW-Madison students coming forward and 23 charges against him, he pleaded guilty to 5. Sentenced for those today, 3 counts of sexual assault, strangulation and suffocation, and stalking.
In less than 24 hours, my body became a crime scene and my life had changed forever.
The judge heard from 2 victims today and a mother of a victim. One statement read by a representative with the Rape Crisis Center.
Part of me died in order to survive that night with him, and part of me will never grow back.
Speaking about PTSD symptoms they still experience after being assaulted by Cook, made worse when they saw him on campus.
Brave, strong, survivor. These are the words that people call me when I open up about my connection to Alec Cook. And while I will often pretend to agree, sometimes I just don't see it that way. Sometimes I feel weak, powerless, victimized.
While the state wanted Cook to be sentenced to more than 19 years in prison, his defense fought for just probation after a psychologist said Cook suffers from narcissistic personality, hallucinogens and cannabis use, and sexual sadism disorders, and would be likely to re-offend after a long time in prison. Judge Stephen Elke taking that into consideration, hoping his decision brings healing to the victims.
Please continue to be kind. I'm sorry, and positive. And don't let him take that from you.
After serving his time, Cook will be on probation for 8 years, 5 years for the sexual assault charges and 3 for the strangulation and stalking charges. He also cannot have contact with any of the victims, and he will be on a sex offender registry for 15 years.
Emotional day, that's for sure. Amanda, thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. A 16-year-old Sun Prairie boy was arrested early this morning in connection with a Wednesday night shooting. Officials said shots were fired around 7:10 at the 1300 block of the Hamilton Place apartments. They say the targeted victim was not injured in the shooting. The 16-year-old suspect was taken to the Dane County Juvenile Detention Center on a tentative charge of first-degree recklessly endangering safety. Officials say the shooting is still under investigation. More and more people are going to the hospital after smoking a type of synthetic marijuana.
Officials are reporting 10 cases of internal bleeding from the drug in June alone, and our Adam Duxter joins us in the news center with the warning that has now gone out statewide. Adam?
Thanks. This new warning is out tonight because of a spike in hospitalizations from synthetic pot. Drugs go by a few names: K2, spice, even fake weed. Cases of internal bleeding are now being linked to these drugs. They're illegal in Wisconsin, but somehow people are still getting their hands on them. The Department of Public Health says there's been 15 cases since the end of March, and 10 of those coming from the beginning of June to now. Doctors say the effects of these drugs can be deadly.
The worst case scenario is that they end up developing a severe bleeding problem that either doesn't get treated promptly, doesn't get recognized, and they can end up having severe bleeding that could lead to death.
So far, the confirmed cases have come in Dane, Milwaukee, and Outagamie counties. In Illinois, 4 people have died from internal bleeding because of these drugs. Officials in Wisconsin are worried that may happen across the border and are urging people not to put substances like these in their bodies.
Good advice. Adam Dexter in our news center, thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Let's head to the Weather Center now. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield has the first day of summer forecast. Pretty dreary today.
Yeah,
Hi, Dave.
Has not felt like summer much at all across southern Wisconsin, Mark and Susan, and that's because of this stationary front that we continue to deal with. We've had low pressure systems form along that front pretty much over the past week or so. We could see our latest low pressure system. Look at this on visible cloud track. Look at how big this storm is. We're not getting too much rain from it across southern Wisconsin right now. That's at least the good news. Heavier showers into central Illinois at the present time. As we zoom in closer to home, we can see some light rain showers in Dane County, closer to Monroe and Dubuque, Iowa. That's about it. Hopefully we can get all of this rain to get out of here pretty soon. Current conditions, we could see some of that light rain still falling in Madison on our WISC-TV Skycam. 64 degrees with an east wind at 5 miles per hour, dew point in the upper 50s. Temperatures across some other spots, we have really moved into the 60s in all of the spots across southern Wisconsin. 63 in Waukesha and in Janesville, 65 in Platteville, and 61 in Viroqua. Dew points are in the 50s, right around 60 degrees. It's not too humid outside. Wind speeds are out of the north and east, generally at about 10 to 15 miles per hour across the area. This evening, mostly cloudy with scattered showers. Temperatures only moving into the low 60s, so we'll have to have that umbrella handy for the next couple of days, but there is relief from that rain in sight. We'll talk more about that in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Looking forward to that, Dave. Thank you. People that live along Lake Kaganza are fighting back water.
The lake levels keep rising, and the county says they're doing everything they can. Our Amy Reed is live from the dam on the Yahara River to show us one of the ways they're working. Amy?
Yeah, you can see the dam behind me, and the county tells me this is about as open as they can make it, and it's been this way for about a week. This is all to help drain some of the water from Lake Kaganza. We were out in some of the neighborhoods near there earlier today, out on the neighborhoods in Pleasant Springs. They're seeing the water there rise about 3 to 4 inches a day. One woman told me her backyard just had a small puddle early in the week, and now the flooding rivals her swimming pool. She said right now, all she can do is sandbag and pray the water doesn't get any higher.
Overwhelmed, scared, don't know. We've got a lot of cleanup to do. Don't know where to start with some of the cleanup. Really have no idea what we're going to do. It's never been this bad before.
The neighbors are really doing a great job of coming together. They're loading and placing sandbags as a team. They're hoping they can handle this all better if they stick together. Now, the city and county are also working together. They say that they're doing all that they can, and they hope on Monday they can bring in some of the equipment and pull some of the plants from some outlets like these to help make the water out of Lake Kaganza flow just a little faster.
Let's hope so. It's been a challenging June, that's for sure.
The rain keeps falling.
Yeah, it keeps falling. Amy Reed reporting live. Amy, thank you.
The Democratic Milwaukee businessman Andy Gronick is ending his campaign for governor. Gronick announced today he was dropping out of the race. That leaves 9 Democrats in the field looking to take on Republican Governor Scott Walker. Gronick says in a statement that running for governor was the greatest journey of his life. He cited a Marquette University Law School poll released yesterday that showed him with single-digit support, far behind the leader, State School Superintendent Tony Evers.
Parents who are looking to run for office will now be able to use campaign donations to pay for child care.
That's under a formal opinion by the Wisconsin Ethics Commission this week, and our Rose Schmidt is here to tell us about the candidate who inspired this decision. Rose?
That's right. It was a single mother running for state treasurer that reached out to ask about this. Cynthia Comp is a single mom to her 9-year-old daughter, Finley, who she was spending time with at a swimming lesson today. The Ethics Commission's decision will allow campaign money to be used only in cases where candidates are traveling to campaign events or using their time for campaign purposes. This includes occasional, part-time, and full-time childcare. Comp says she asked the board to issue an opinion not so much for her, but for other mothers and fathers around the state.
Why not open the door and pave the way for more qualified women and parents who have leadership skills and a desire to serve in the public office anywhere? You know, why not do that?
Part of what inspired Comp to ask the Ethics Commission for a formal opinion was a ruling from the Federal Election Commission last month. The FEC decided that federal candidates can also use their campaign money to pay for child care for their children. Now, coming up on News 3 at 6, we will hear from a statewide organization that encourages women to get involved in politics, and they'll tell us about some of the challenges parents face when considering whether to enter the field.
All right, we'll see you at 6. Rose Schmidt, thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Land's End is teaming up with the Clean Lakes Alliance and the city of Middleton to help clean up Lake Mendota. Over 150 Land's End employees and 50 interns helped start a new employee volunteer cleanup project in Bach Community Forest. Volunteers removed debris and invasive plants from the western shore of Lake Mendota. CEO Jerome Griffith says Land's End is making lake health a top priority.
There's a lot of work that's been done, but so much work yet to do. I learned from breakfast about phosphorus and the phosphorus runoff from all the lands around the area running into the lakes and creating algae. And I think whatever we can do to keep that at a minimum would be best for the community.
This is Land's End's 8th year participating in lake cleanup efforts.
And speaking of lakes, we're just 2 days away from the Shake the Lake event in Madison, and deputies are reminding boaters to be cautious. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says they're expecting around 100 boaters on Lake Mendota for the fireworks, and they'll have 4 patrol boats working the event. They said there'll be a slow, no-wake order in place the entire day, and it will be strictly enforced. Deputies also are telling boaters that they should designate a sober driver and make sure everyone on the boat has a personal flotation device.
Construction is going to stop on Highway PD over the next few days as thousands of people go to University Ridge Golf Course for the AmFam Golf Tournament. Crews have been working for 6 weeks to transform the golf course into a professional tournament course. And getting there, the good news is it shouldn't be too much of a problem. The construction that's going on right now around University Ridge will be temporarily put on hold for the next few days, and Madison Police will be on hand to direct fans where to park.
We have 2 different parking plans. If the fields are dry, we were allowed to park everybody right on course, right next to the golf course, and everybody be close in that fashion. If our fields do get wet, then we transfer everybody off-site to surface lots and shuttle them in.
The shuttles will run constantly every 3 to 5 minutes, and if you'd like to purchase tickets, there is a link on our website, channel3000.com.
And coming up on News 3 at 5, the House has rejected an immigration bill. What Republicans and Democrats are saying about it.
Plus, the Supreme Court ruled today that states can now require online retailers to pay sales tax, what that could mean for online shopping.
And taking a look at Wall Street, another down day with the tariff fears still in place. The Dow Industrials losing 196 points. The NASDAQ down 68. The SP 500 was off 17. We'll be right back.
The Republican-controlled House has rejected an immigration bill that offered no path to citizenship for young dreamer immigrants.
Yesterday, the president signed an executive order temporarily ending his administration's policy of family separation, but the order is only a temporary fix, allowing families to be held together for only 20 days. Today, the Department of Justice asked a federal court to allow families to stay together longer. The House failed to pass a conservative immigration bill. Another compromise bill, which would keep children with their parents while they're being processed, was supposed to also be voted on today, but it was pushed to tomorrow.
Even if something doesn't necessarily pass, I think we're making advancements because we're putting ideas on the table.
Both of these bills fail to provide a permanent legislative fix for our dreamers, selling out their American dream to build the president's obscene border wall.
The president's executive order does not address the 2,300 children who've already been separated since May. It's unclear when or if they will be reunited. And the House of Representatives narrowly approved a massive 5-year farm bill today. The vast majority of the bill's funding addresses food stamps. The Agriculture Committee reformed the program to add more work and training requirements for those who receive benefits. The bill also addresses a range of issues relating to agricultural issues such as livestock disaster programs, conservation, feral swine, farm loan programs, and broadband services in rural areas, just to name a few.
The Supreme Court ruled today that states can now require online retailers to pay sales tax. Before the explosion of internet shopping, the High Court ruled in 1992 an online retailer only had to collect sales tax if it had a physical presence in the state. But in 2016, South Dakota sued online retailers Wayfair and Overstock for the estimated $50 million a year the state said it was losing in sales tax revenue. The decision sent share prices for Amazon, Overstock, Wayfair, eBay, and Etsy tumbling.
A lot of uncertainty right now, both for consumers, businesses, and state tax authorities, because they have to figure out what exactly they're going to do, how to comply, who has to comply.
The ruling is a win for large retailers with brick-and-mortar stores nationwide like Target and Walmart, which argued the physical presence rule put them at a perpetual disadvantage.
Speaking of perpetual disadvantages, let's head out to the weather patio. Dave Caulfield, please make the rain stop.
I really wish I could, Mark and Susan. It's the stationary front and then the low pressure systems that just form and roll right along it that is causing so much rain over the past couple of weeks or so. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. Relief from the rain is on the way. We just got to get through a couple more showers as we head into Friday. But Saturday, things are improving. 24-hour precipitation estimates, another inch to an inch and a half of rain for portions of southern Wisconsin into northeastern Iowa and northern Illinois, another spot that's getting hit very hard from these showers and thunderstorms. It really just needs to stop raining in any capacity. That would be great, because a lot of flooding still taking place and hopefully not exacerbated by another possible day of rain tomorrow. So today, for the first day of summer, we have received about 1/4 of an inch of rain in Madison. We are just about at 5 inches of rain for the month of June, a little bit above normal for the entire month. The good news is that flash flood watch that was in for far southern Wisconsin earlier this afternoon, that has been lifted. It's been canceled. But for our friends in northern Illinois, that is not the case. That goes until tomorrow at 7 in the morning. Doppler track showing very light showers mostly across southern Wisconsin, maybe a little bit heavier rain trying to make its way closer to Dubuque, Iowa, but that's about it. With this low pressure system, most of the heavier rain still in north central Illinois. High temperatures for the first day of summer in the mid 60s and low 70s. Very unsummer-like outside, to say the least. 66 the high temperature for many of us, including Madison, Waukesha, and Janesville. 64 the high today in Monroe, excuse me. So summer has begun early this morning. Remember, with the Earth, it happens with, or time happens with revolution, rotation, and tilt. Revolution is years, rotation is days, and tilt helps us get seasons. So with us a little bit closer to the sunshine, or at least tilted closer to the sunshine, We usually get warmer weather in summer. Not today, though. Not for the first day of summer, that is. We are the coolest high temperature, at least over the last 5 years in Madison, with highs in the 60s and about a quarter of an inch of rain. Nothing like 2016, where we were almost near 90 degrees. But temperatures are warming up as we head into the middle of next week. But for the first couple of days of summer, we'll be well below average. Temperatures, you can see the green show up on the map. That is pretty rare for this time of year. 64 in Madison right now, 66 in Watertown. Dew points in the 50s and 60s, so not feeling too bad outside, but we'll definitely need the umbrella. And wind speeds out of the north and east at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So future track, with this forecast, we can see a couple of more showers possible tonight into tomorrow. But as we head into tomorrow evening, that's when I think things are improving. High pressure rescues us from this very rainy pattern, and we'll see a little bit of sunshine as we head into Saturday. Sunday, maybe a slight chance of showers and storms. So tonight, mostly cloudy with scattered showers and an isolated thunderstorm. Tomorrow, breezy and cool with a chance of showers. Then a little bit closer to home, we could see we'll need to have the umbrella with us as we head into Friday, but it's not looking all that great for rain chances, which is great news, and especially as we head into Saturday. Partly sunny skies will be with us with temperatures moving into the 70s. So let's take a quick look at your 7-day forecast. We can see 80s returning as we head into the middle of next week. Also that heat and humidity returning and the chance for showers and thunderstorms. Now let's take a look at your first alert traffic update. Rainy roads out there on Todd Drive and the Beltline. Slow go in both directions. No major accidents or incidents to report, so that's good news. But as we zoom in, we can see lots of red showing up on the Beltline, so that's going to add about 5 to 10 minutes to your journey this late afternoon into the early evening. Verona Road to John Nolan, that's 18 minutes right now. Average speed about 15 miles per hour eastbound. And that is your first alert traffic. This rain just won't go away. It's getting old. It was old like last week. Now it's just ancient. It's hieroglyphics out here.
It was old in April.
Yeah, exactly. That's, I mean, come on, Mother Nature.
Well, we'll get you a new umbrella.
Hang in there, Dave. Thank you so much. Ahead on News 3 at 5, how a new cellular network could change the way you live. We'll have the details when we come back.
Well, you may have heard about 5G. It's a cellular network that could make your phone faster.
But researchers are looking at new ways to use the technology, and it could change the way you live. Mary Maloney has more.
5G is going to be a big deal. The next generation wireless technology is lightning quick, making your phone 10 times faster than 4G, according to industry expectations. But what else is possible? That's what researchers want to find out. Ericsson teamed up with King's College London to look at new ways to use 5G. Think remote surgery with virtual reality gloves, paving the way for doctors to operate on a patient on the other side of the world via a robot. Or digitizing a piano player's hands to help teach people how to play remotely. It may even power self-driving cars and smart cities. Right now, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint are developing and testing 5G network technology. The faster connection may come in the not-so-distant future. The wireless industry expects 5G networks to launch in 2020. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
We'll have a final check of the forecast when we come back.
Rain, rain, go away.
Yeah, we've been saying that for a while.
2 months.
Deaf ears, that's what it's fallen on, unfortunately. But it will go away soon, I think. As we head into Saturday, I think we can look forward to a dry day, but not right now. We're looking at some light showers across southern Wisconsin, so have that umbrella ready to go. In Madison right now, 64 with an east wind at 5 miles per hour. As we head into tomorrow, some more light showers could visit us, but as we head into the evening, I think we start to dry out with highs near 70.
Not bad. All right, thanks a lot, Dave. Thanks for watching, everybody. The CBS Evening News is coming up next. We'll see you back here for News 3 at 6.